Sir, yes. You just gave him 40 years. Well, guess what? Sir, don't say this.
This is Elis Nelson Ortiz-Nieves, who is facing charges in Michigan for the murder of an infant.
The bruises, some of the bruises were in the shape of a belt buckle.
Man, I ain't gonna let you, I ain't gonna let you sit here and say no crazy shit about me, man. No, man, because he's saying shit he don't even know, man.
Sir?
The victim, 4-year-old Giovanni Mejias, was the son of Ortiz-Nieves' girlfriend, Sonia Hernandez. Mejia's cause of death was determined to be physical abuse. Despite Sonia's denial of involvement, a neighbor had a different account, suggesting that she was aware of the abuse. According to the neighbor, Sonia even asserted that it was Ortiz-Nieves' responsibility to discipline the child.
Sonia was well aware. She was well aware of what was happening because she told him that was his responsibility to whoop them.
Ortiz-Nieves denied mistreating the boy, but the judge and prosecutors didn't believe him. They were sure that his actions led to the child's death. Kent County deputies arrived at the Gaines Township trailer, where Ortiz-Nieves was responsible for caring for several children under 11. There, they found Giovanni on the kitchen floor. An autopsy revealed that the boy died from internal bleeding caused by abdominal trauma, which suggested adult-inflicted injuries. During the trial, Kent County Circuit Court Judge Mark Trusock condemned Ortiz-Nieves' actions in strong terms and expressed that he should never be released from prison.
You are the lowest form of human life that I've been able to observe or see. You are a monster, and quite frankly, you are evil. You beat this child, you brutalized this child, and you tortured this child.
He kept describing Nieves' bad acts, causing him to get very angry. Ortiz-Nieves received a life sentence without parole and an additional 80 to 150 years for first-degree child abuse. Ortiz-Nieves targeted the most vulnerable people of our society. However, the same couldn't be said about Robert Howse, who held an NFL superstar at gunpoint. This is Robert Howse, who is facing serious robbery charges. The court hearing took a chaotic turn on Thursday, as the judge delivered a 43-year prison sentence to Robert Howse for robbing former NFL wide receiver and Super Bowl champion Joe Jurevicius. During the September robbery, Jurevicius encountered Howse in his barn after dinner. Howse was armed and forced Jurevicius to his knees and held him at gunpoint for over 30 minutes, demanding money and other valuables. The ordeal escalated as Howse threatened Jurevicius' family and forced him to open a safe. Jurevicius, in a desperate bid to protect his family, offered money and even his Super Bowl ring. Howse ultimately fled after Jurevicius managed to escape and call the police. This led to the robber's arrest. In court, things got really crazy. Jurevicius requested the maximum sentence for Howse, expressing that the incident had made him question moving his family back to Cleveland. Despite his grim experience, Jurevicius concluded with a poignant quote from his grandmother: "If you don't have anything nice to say about somebody, don't say it. At this point, Your Honor, I have nothing good to say."
And I'm requesting that you receive the maximum sentence allowed by law. Unfortunately, my grandmother told me a long time ago, if you have nothing nice to say about somebody, don't say it. And Your Honor, at this point I have nothing good to say.
Howse could be seen getting more and more upset as the trial went on. In the end, he was escorted from the courtroom. He was sentenced to 43 years in prison for his actions. Now, how is it possible to top this, you might ask? Well, just take a look at the case of Bryce Rhodes, who literally laughed and smiled at the victims' family members.
Look at me, ma'am! He keeps tiring. Ma'am!
This is Bryce Rhodes. He is currently on trial for 3 counts of murder in Louisville, Kentucky. Rhodes' journey into infamy began when he tragically shot and killed an innocent man, mistaking him for someone else. Adding to the gravity of his actions, he didn't stop there. He also targeted 2 brothers, ages 16 and 14, who were witnesses to the crime. Unfortunately, these teenagers met a similarly tragic fate as the innocent man a few weeks later. Rhodes was quickly arrested when the 3 bodies were discovered. In the interrogation room, Rhodes was acting strange.
You close to these kids along?
Like cool, we play basketball. I'm cool with a lot of people.
Did you hang out with them on a regular basis?
It was cool. Yeah, we hung at different times, you know. I need a lawyer, man, if you gonna keep all in my face.
In a courtroom twist, Rhodes displayed his sinister character. He was seen blowing kisses to the victim's family and making weird hand gestures. Now, even when confronted about his smiles, he responded with, "It's not a crime to smile."
Mr. Rhodes, you're smiling. I don't know why you're smiling.
Because I can.
Well,
Because I can. It's not a crime to smell.
it's not a crime to
Continue
smile,
what you were saying.
but it doesn't help you, all right, to irritate people.
All right.
And you have a lot at stake in this case.
It's not a crime to smell, is it?
I didn't say you were committing a
Okay
crime.
then.
I'm saying you're
Continue
not
what you were
helping
saying.
yourself.
Continue what you were saying.
Rhodes also spat on one of his attorneys, this guy, prompting him to make this response.
Nice cheap shot. You a coward. Nice cheap shot. You a coward. Excuse me.
But the theatrics didn't stop there. In another court appearance, Rhodes took things to a new level. He made bizarre accusations toward the judge, suggesting a sexual relationship and questioning whether he was racist.
I don't know if y'all got some type of sexual relationship going on or what y'all got going on, but I'm definitely gonna speak my mind.
Detective Tatelli, I have no sexual relationship.
Now I'm talking about you and a prosecutor over there, sir. You denied all my motions. Every motion I filed, you didn't deny it.
I'm pretty sure I've denied the vast
Every motion I
majority of
filed?
pro se motions that have ever
Are you some type of racist? Or y'all got some type of sexual relationship going on? Which one is it?
Or are you just wrong in everything that you've made a motion for?
Are you a secret Ku Klux Klan member?
In the end, Rhodes had something quite scary to say to the judge.
You're gonna find out though. You're gonna find out real quick. Promise that.
With his courtroom behavior spiraling out of control, along with his habit of firing multiple lawyers, Rhodes has still not gotten a verdict till this day. One thing's for sure, with his actions and attitude, Bryce Rhodes won't be walking free on the streets anytime soon. That couldn't be said about Diana Lovejoy, who literally passed out after hearing her sentence. This is Diana Lovejoy, who was on trial for attempted murder.
So painful that some people in this world seem to think that I would have it in me to do this.
Back in September 2016, Lovejoy hatched a sinister scheme to eliminate her estranged husband, Greg Mulvihill. Her chosen instrument for this chilling act was her flirt, Weldon McDavid. The plot was set in motion when Lovejoy acquired a burner phone, which she used to lure her husband to a remote location. Under the guise of having critical information for their impending divorce trial, McDavid, using the burner phone, called Mulvihill to arrange a meeting. It was to take place in the cover of night. However, as Mulvihill approached the designated spot, he noticed a figure lurking in the bushes, a sniper with a flashlight. Then came the sound of gunfire. 7 shots in total, one of them striking him in the chest. Miraculously, Mulvihill survived the attack. His friend, who was with him at the time, immediately dialed 911 to report the incident.
Hello, this is 911.
Yeah, my friend has just been shot.
Do you know who shot him?
There's a guy lying down like a sniper.
A sniper? Did you see him at all?
Briefly, we saw the gun, and he shot at us like 6 or 7 times.
The motive behind this chilling plot stemmed from a bitter custody dispute over their young son.
Detectives theorize she may have been prepared to kill him to get her way.
Reportedly, Lovejoy paid $2,000 to McDavid to carry out the violent act. After Mulvihill emerged from surgery, the police questioned him, and he confirmed their suspicions. Diana Lovejoy was the puppeteer behind it all. McDavid, too, was brought in for questioning, and both attempted to deflect blame, denying any involvement. At the trial, Lovejoy attempted to paint a different picture, claiming that Mulvihill had sexually assaulted her and their son, using this as the justification for their divorce. However, the prosecution swiftly discredited these allegations. The evidence against Lovejoy and McDavid was as clear as daylight. They were the architects of the attempted murder. The courtroom recordings captured a pivotal moment when Lovejoy realized that her fate was sealed. The jury's resounding guilty verdict hit her like a ton of bricks, and she collapsed instantly.
Guilty of the crime of conspiracy to commit.
Lovejoy was subsequently sentenced to 26 years to life in prison, while McDavid received a sentence of 50 years to life. Yet, the story doesn't end there. Months later, Lovejoy returned to the courtroom, attempting to evoke sympathy by crying and pleading for mercy.
It's so painful that some people in this world seem to think that I would have it in me to do this.
However, her manipulative tactics failed to sway the judge, who saw through her facade. Today, both Lovejoy and McDavid remained incarcerated, serving their respective sentences. Now, how can we possibly top this, you might ask? Well, just take a look at the case of Ricky Hand, who threw his own excrement at his lawyers after receiving a 40-year sentence. As the owner of John's drive-thru is getting ready to close for the night, his attention is drawn to an approaching figure on the security camera feed. The scene unfolds at John's drive-thru, located on West Main Street, where an attempted robbery is about to unfold. The owner takes immediate action, firing a shot at the would-be robber, who promptly flees through the back door. Through the store's security camera footage and a tip from a local hospital treating a man with gunshot wounds, the police rapidly identified the suspect as Ricky Hand. During the subsequent police interrogation, Hand confesses to a string of armed robberies, including a series of business break-ins involving firearms. A list of charges begins to accumulate against him, surrounding burglaries at beauty salons and other establishments. Inside the Clark County, Ohio courtroom, Hand faces the judge for his sentencing.
Did you just give me 40 years, sir? Yes.
Anticipating a more lenient verdict, Hand reacts with shock upon hearing his sentence. And it's at this moment that the notorious robber's temper flares. Video footage captures Hand discreetly retrieving something from his arm sling, later revealed to be a small bottle containing his own excrement and urine. Amid the ensuing commotion, Hand can be heard making a chilling remark that essentially characterizes his action as a death sentence. This dramatic turn of events takes a graver turn, leading to additional charges against Hand, including the contamination of bodily fluids and obstruction of justice. Hand was quickly escorted out of the courtroom and won't be returning to the outside world for many decades.